So this year at Back to the Lab is very different in that usually we've got 2 weeks, and the first week we work with one mentor, and for the last few years it's been brilliant that we've had Jonathan Burrows to do that. This year he could only make 2 of the days, so we changed it and we had 2 additional mentors in Freddy Opoku and Jane Fallowfield. Jane Fallowfield works from Talawa Theatre, and she came and gave exercises in dramaturgy and storytelling, which was great. What also has been really great is the fact that we've had producers that are working with the artists in the studio creating music for them. This year we've got our 4 lucky contestants. We've got Hal Meyer, who we discovered in Nottingham when we were doing Breakin Convention there this year and last year. Also we have Rawlinson with Wayward Thread Dance Company. Again, we've worked with them before. This is the nature of Back to the Lab. It's the artists that we've got a relationship with. Rain Crew, who did this last year as well, but this time they've got a reconfiguration of membership, I guess. And last but not least, Geni Lou, who's brought another artist all the way from Montreal called Frederic to work with.
The thing about Back to the Lab is that, and I was saying this to all the participants, that it's very important to know that it's not a workshop. We're not, nobody's here to teach anything, and it's not a learning situation in the conventional sense like that. It's a meeting of artists.
These past 2 weeks, I've been working on myself as a choreographer and honing my craft. And in terms of the piece that I'm doing, let's just say it has something to do with legal highs as a diversion for something around the multiverse theory.
We've been working on creative processes, on how to go from making an idea that you make up in your head or have an example of, and making it come to life.
The first week was really different workshops, using different techniques like theater, or spoken word, or just choreography, or just movement without necessarily like calling it dance.
My name is Serain, aka My Panda Shall Fly. I've been working with Hal Meyer and his crew, as well as Rain Crew. You know, it's such a great platform for artists and dancers and choreographers to come in, you know, into this 2-week program. You know, it's such a great learning environment, and you know, everyone's just here to learn and exchange ideas and stuff. So all the work is of really high quality, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
For the past 2 weeks, I focused on building a relationship with the dancers and just trying to gain an understanding of what it was that they wanted to try and create, and to kind of marry and compose the music so it was all part of one body, in terms of just trying to make it sound like a complete piece.
So like our piece first came from just like one little act, which turned out to be the introduction of the actual piece. So it came from a feeling, because it was like, I remember the scene that we made up originally, it created like a feel throughout the whole throughout the scene that we made, and then we kind of extended that feel throughout the whole piece. So it's like taking like a 5% and just stretching out to feel what that 5% will feel like, you know?
I feel like it's better than myself. Like, I feel like the piece in general, in terms of the topic, in terms of the subject, is bigger than myself, and when I came into it I was really quite anxious. I watched a documentary called 13th. This is very much tied to our friends and our family, and I also felt really stupid and ignorant just trying to say anything on the topic, and that kind of drove the idea of like, why do people who are not black feel so awkward in talking about the protest against black oppression, and how do you find an authentic and useful voice? And when I was first doing the lab, I didn't really know how I could do that without being like, racism is bad, and giving a lecture which will literally turn people off. I'm really glad that it's developed from that kind of lecture mode into something which is more about people, more about shared memories, something that people can engage with, and then hopefully pick apart their own prejudices or pick apart their own fears or discomfort in what is a really urgent conversation.
I just think that these 2 weeks have been, I think they'd be super beneficial for any artist that's coming in. And I think my personal experience has been just immensely helpful to further my career, you know, as a choreographer.
Being content with what you have, but taking what you have to another level, whether that be in theatre or whether that be like development for you as a dancer or as an artist or whatever. But it's more so like to experiment with what you have and to share with what you have, you know?
It really felt like time froze for a week. Like I feel like a month has gone by in the past 5 days. Like we entered a vortex, you know, and time froze and like the rest of the world kept on going. But yeah, it's just an like unreal time-stopping experience for me.
I would summarize it as the home you didn't realize you had as a choreographer, somewhere where no one's judging you, somewhere where you can find things that you've had for years that you knew you always had, and then bring it back into your own expression, and then feel like you can walk out that door and make something of yourself.